One morning when I woke up, the first thing in my head was, what's the pros and cons of diary study? After self-learning for 2 months, I was lost. Maybe I shouldn't pursue this path. After job hunting for a year, I finally landed a full-time role in UX research. It's been a long way to come. I've stumbled across many challenges, self-doubts, and I even thought about giving up. But I gained so much learning along the way. Today, I'm gonna share with you how I broke into UX research with no HCI degree, no PhD, or relevant UX experience. I'll break today's content into 4 main parts. First, my background and why I decided to transition. Second, is bootcamp worth it? Third, how I got interviews and my interview journey with Google and more. Finally, if you stay till the end, I have several bonus tips for career transitioners on how to land a UX role. Without further ado, let's begin. I graduated with a degree in marketing from Northwestern University in 2020. After graduation, I went to the default path. I joined a health tech startup working as a growth marketer for almost 2 years. So what the heck is growth marketing? In simple words, basically I work closely with our sales team, marketing team, and content to figure out how we can sell more, how we can attract more clients, and get more revenue. I remember it was about 1 year into my role at this company, I lost my motivation and passion. To be honest, I don't give a shit about how much money we make, how many clients we increased, and all the KPIs. It is important for the company to survive and thrive, but personally, it doesn't align with my value, and I don't see how I can continue growing in this field. And one day, I was invited by our UX researcher to an interview session. I observed how a real user interacted with our product, how he struggled, how he describes his experience. I realized instead of selling to the user or clients, I'm more interested in learning about them, their motivation behind their hidden pattern to inform the product strategy. This is what motivates me to transition my career from marketing to UX research. Even though I come from a marketing background, there are some overlapped area, like I've learned customer journey mapping, interview focus group, survey analysis, etc. But still, marketing is different from UX research, and I had so much knowledge gap. Plus, I don't come from an HCI degree, and this field is super competitive with a lot of PhD transitioning to the field. I don't have any relevant experience. I don't even know how to properly conduct a usability test. So I started self-learning. I started reading books and took several online courses from Coursera and Google Design Certificate. And aside from that, I binged watched Aona Young's video. If you don't know her, please check her content. Her YouTube channel is gold. There are so many informations that I found super helpful in my career transition. But after self-learning for 2 months, I was lost. Even though I had all this knowledge from different sources, I realized they're scattered all over the place. I don't have a structured way of organizing them in my mind, so I figured I need some additional help and a more classroom-like learning environment. So that's why I decided to look for a bootcamp. There are so many bootcamp options, so how to choose them? My strategy at the time is, one, I knew I need some real world experience. In other words, UX project where I get to work with real client. And second, I need some career coaching, so I need help with my resume, interview practice, and also networking. And third, money is also a consideration for me. I don't have a big chunk of money to invest in another master's degree, plus I have some work experience. So altogether, I decided I wanted to take a bootcamp that fulfills all of these criteria. After doing some research, I found about Zero to UX Research Masterclass. I started watching Kevin Liang's YouTube video at the beginning of my career transition, and that's how I learned that he created this 21-week intensive UX research learning. So I reached out to 2 alumni who graduated from this masterclass and learned about their experience. I was so glad I did that step, because otherwise I wouldn't gain that real, honest, genuine feedback from people who have taken it. Now looking back, I would say taking that masterclass is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my career transition. Through the masterclass, I learned what is end-to-end UX research process, and I got a chance to apply them through my own study and also partner with a client on a real client project. I really enjoyed how Kevin has this Socratic teaching style. When it comes to learning, he doesn't give us the answers. And I've learned a lot of soft skills along the way, including like what if the stakeholders push back, how to deal with that, how to prioritize. So is the bootcamp worth it? In my case, it's definitely 100% exceeded my expectation and gave all that I need and more in my career transition. But I would say bootcamp will not guarantee a job. It will give you the basic knowledge that you need to do your research or build a portfolio. At the end of the world, you are still accountable for your own career transition. So be proactive, go out and hunt for UX research project. I feel like UX research really requires a lot of real-world experience. We need to have something tangible to show our interviewer or the future company that we're capable of doing research and more. So how to build up your portfolio experience if you have no degree or no relevant experience? There are three major ways to look for a portfolio project. One, if you are currently working full-time, you can see if your own company has a UX research team and reach out to them, build a good relationship, and start shadowing their work. No one will ever turn down a person who is willing to help and learn. Second, you can look for startup or local organization or nonprofits. In our masterclass, we have friends who reach out to local museums to help them improve their digital experience, or you can even go to the coffee shop that you visit regularly and see if they need some help with improving either their website or their customer experience. And third is applying for volunteer project. You can go on to UX Rescue and TechFleet. These are the tools that I used, and I highly recommend TechFleet. It's a UX community where you can apply for projects to work with startups, nonprofits. Everybody all come from a very diverse set of backgrounds and build this support network through our career transition. First of all, I networked a lot. I cold outreached people on LinkedIn. I searched for Northwestern alumni who also had similar background in marketing and then to UX. So that's how I built the connection. So I just sent them a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I'm currently transitioning from marketing to UX research. I found your career trajectory aligns well with my interest, and I'd love to set up a virtual chat with you to learn more. According to a research data from Zapier, referrals are 4 times more likely to be offered a job offer than website applicants. A network is more than asking for referral. You have to build that relationship. Through chatting with people in the industry, I learned like what's the difference between B2B versus B2C UX research and the insider look into different company cultures. And I kept track of all the people that I reached out and my conversation key takeaway in a spreadsheet. I never felt I was 100% ready to apply for jobs and probably never will, but I gotta start somewhere. So after I finished my masterclass and got my resume ready, I started applying for roles. Initially, I didn't thought I would get any interviews because the job market is so competitive and companies started laying off. At the time, I saw Google had an opening for early career UX research role, so I thought, just give it a try. One day, I remember I was lying on the sofa and detoxing myself from a full day of work. I pulled out my phone and saw this email titled UX Research Early Career Next Step. So I started preparing for the interviews, getting my portfolio ready. One morning when I woke up, the first thing in my head was, what's the pros and cons of diary study? I literally went crazy at the time to prepare because that was the only opportunity I really wanted to make it work out. My effort paid off. I passed the hypothetical round and I was at the team match stage. As I was so excited to choose which team I want to pair with, I submitted my form and I sit quietly and wait. One day, I received a phone call from the recruiter. In calm tone, he told me that unfortunately this role was eliminated, so I couldn't move forward with this process. Was I devastated? Yes. Did I lose some faith in the job market? Yes. Did I give up? No. Because rejection is redirection. I told myself this is not something I can control, so focus on what I can control, like my resume, portfolio, and I started applying again. Fast forward to November, I've already applied for more than 100 roles and experienced all types of interview formats, including hypothetical interview, take-home assessment, technical round. And amid those, one company was about to extend an offer to me, but due to my work visa status, because I'm an international student, they couldn't extend an offer. Every day I logged on to LinkedIn. It was full of layoff message. And our company also had 2 rounds of layoff, and the UX research team, the entire team was gone. I felt I have done all the things that I could and did my best to prepare myself for a career transition, but I started to lose some hope. Maybe I shouldn't pursue this path. Maybe research isn't right for me. Maybe if I apply for a marketing job, it will be easier. At least I can get a more stable job than my current role. And in November, hiring started slowing down. Companies are all getting ready for a holiday. I told myself I'm not gonna find a job this year. I allowed myself to take some mental break and restart in the new year. But you know what? Life is all of surprises. In the end of November, I received an interview from a role I applied a month ago, and that ended up being the offer that I got. The entire process took 2 weeks. It was extremely fast, and I received my offer over Christmas, the best gift ever. I've thought a million times how I would feel the moment when I got an offer. In reality, I was much more calm than I thought. I guess this is the result of consistently putting effort and know that you will eventually get there. It's just a matter of time and the right amount of luck. So now looking back, I have some lessons I learned and tips that I want to share with my career transitioners. One, you have to think this through before you jump. Job hunting in UX is hard, especially for UX researchers, because compared to UX designers, there are less demand in the job market. I'm not discouraging anyone from transitioning to the field, but you need to be mentally prepared and tell yourself that this is challenging, and give yourself as much as time and kindness through the journey. And second, if you are transitioning from another field, focus on your strength. For a long time, I thought transitioning from marketing to UX research will make me less competitive as a candidate. But through chatting with people in the field, in the industry who also broke into research from marketing, a lot of them gave me advice that focus on your strength. Because as a UX researcher, not only you need to know how to do research, but more importantly, how to socialize the findings with your stakeholders and achieve a balance between users' needs and the business needs. So coming from a marketing background actually gave me that edge and the business sense. So that is my strength. So I suggest you, if you transition from another field, what is your superpower? And try to maximize that through your interview process and emphasize what are the unique values that you can bring to the table. Third tip is get your portfolio ready. In the hundreds of roles that I applied, 80 or 90% of them ask for a portfolio in different formats. Some ask for a website link or a presentation deck. Some ask for a portfolio presentation. Even in interviews, they will ask you, walk me through a UX research project and how you made an impact. If you don't have any projects on hand, you can reach out to the research team at your company or apply for volunteer projects, proactively hunt for projects. No one will hand it to you. You are held accountable for your own success. Next tip is stay active in the community. So in my career transition, I joined a lot of UX research group, which I will link down below in the description bar. I follow a bunch of people on LinkedIn, and that's how I keep myself informed on all the happenings, the recent openings in UX research. The last tip is don't give up. There are so many times that I thought this might not be the right path for me. Maybe I should stick with my marketing career. I wanted to remind you to look in the long term. In 3 to 5 years, if you do not transition, will you still think about doing research or different career path? Because life is short. Once you know this is what you want to do and you're passionate about, just stick with it. If you are determined enough, no one can stop you. It's just a matter of time. And last but not least, we tend to downplay the role and the impact of luck on our life trajectories. A lot of the times when you get rejected, it's not you, your capability, is the environment. So what we can do is to focus on the things that we can control. When the right opportunity came, you will be fully prepared. The first step is always the hardest in every journey. I hope by sharing my career transition experience with you will give you some inspiration and motivation. If you have any questions or content you want to see related to UX research job hunting or learning or career, feel free to comment below. You can find all the books, podcasts, and learning resources in UX research down in the description bar. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!